Created live on Fireside.
Welcome to Your Next Stop. This is Juliet Hahn. I am a wife, mom, virtual coach, public speaker, and crazy obsessed dog lover. I am so honored to be able to take you into the life of someone that has followed a passion. Every week, I hope you are as inspired as I am. Welcome to Your Next Stop. Hey everyone, welcome to YNS Live with NFL Thread, our guest, Rachel McKenzie. Thank you guys for joining this, and this is so exciting. I love what we're going to be discussing today. Welcome everyone to YNS Live with NFL Thread, Rachel McKenzie. I'm going to let Cynthia go.
I am so excited to have Rachel on today for so many reasons. As a friend, and as an off-the-field sister, and as the newly elected president, and for all of our board and all of our members, it's just an exciting time. And I'm just so happy, to have Rachel on to talk about filling the shoes of Erica Lassiter, who is amazing and had a fantastic 18-year run for off the field and just one of the biggest hearts and the best people in the world. And she's just fantastic. And of course, we'll always be involved in off the field. But we're kicking off October Rush. And I wanted to talk about that with Rachel, but I also just wanted everybody to know Rachel and all the amazing things she does. And Juliet, with all your millions of questions and your curiosity, I think this is a perfect forum. So you could take it away, and I'm excited to be a part of it, but to really listen into everybody else of this wonderful conversation.
Okay, right. So I want to jump in. I was, as I was telling you in the green room, Rachel, there's so many things that I was just learning about you and so many things that I would love to dive into. However, we do not have 5 hours, but you have done incredible things in your lifetime and in your short lifetime. So what I want though is I would love for you to give us a little insight to who you are. Like, where did you grow up? How did you meet your husband? And then we're going to go into a couple other things, because the 34 ways, the foundation that you have, I want to definitely touch on that. And then I know we want to get into, dive into off the field while we're here. But if you can just share with everyone, who are you? Where did you grow up? How did you form into this amazing woman that you are?
Well, good afternoon, everyone, or good morning to some. I will say first and foremost that who am I? I am a woman of God, and without keeping God first and foremost in my life, I would not be as successful as I am, and I would not have been able to achieve the things that I have achieved. With that being said, I'm from Lake Charles, Louisiana. We have been, devastatedly hit the last 6 hurricanes, of course. So, working through those things with the family and everything has definitely been a challenge here in Louisiana. I wear a lot of hats. I'm a firm believer that God gave me a lot of talent, and I wake up every day to make sure that I put those talents to work as best as I can, and I push myself a lot. I'm surrounded by an outstanding supported team. My husband, first and foremost, my children support me a lot, as well as my family members. And oh my goodness, my sisters in off the field, they are huge supporters. When I tell you, when I don't know where I am or where I'm going, and I'm actually in a distressed mode, it's amazing how my sisters at off the field they're more than just women that are in an organization. They are family to me. So they see things that I'm unable to actually see before they actually happen. So blessed and honored to have them as well. And I consider them family as well. I'm a mother of 4, 16-year-old, 11, 10, and a 3-year-old. Decided to do this all over again in my 40s. So nevertheless, he definitely keeps my husband and I on our toes. I met my husband at an event, and the funny thing that I like to share with people is that when I met him, he told me his name was Terrence McKenzie, and it's his middle name, actually. And I didn't find out until a week later when he asked me to marry him that his name was actually Michael McKenzie. He's been my best friend ever since. I thank God for him every single day. I mean, when I tell you, it makes a world of difference of the things that you can accomplish, having a man in front of you and on side of you at every beacon step that you take. Even when you feel like you can't go on, just being that number one cheerleader and supporter in your life. But nevertheless, here we are. Like I said, we have 4 children. I'm a coach. I coach my children in track and field. I'm very, very passionate about it. I drop everything that I'm doing when it's time for me to coach them. And sometimes I toy a little with the hat of being a mother and being a coach, but I constantly remind myself when I walk off the track with them from coaching them in track and field, and I turn the ignition in the car, I become their mother all over again. And even though I've chastised them on the track, or I've stressed them out or pushed them to their limit, I always remember to be their mother and to interact and stay close to them. And, at the end of the day, I want to know how they're feeling, and if their coach is pushing them too hard, and how do you feel about that? So staying engaged with them as a mother is key also to me. But the passion of being a coach to them is near and dear, because coaches they're the beacons in young individuals' lives, and they actually have the first-hand touch to a young child when it comes to being vulnerable and being able to persevere through things. And they have that first-hand touch of teaching them what it means and how it feels to go through adversity, and how to be a winner graciously, and also how to be a loser graciously, and what that means on and off the field. So I get that firsthand touch, opportunity as well to do with my children. Outside of that, I have multiple businesses, but I'm sure we'll touch.
Yes, I definitely wanted to, because I know Cynthia had said, so I used to run track. Actually, I was a sprinter. I mean, I played field hockey and lacrosse in college, so it was more of that, but I did track, and I love
awesome.
track. And my oldest son is actually a sprinter as well, but he's a soccer and a wrestler. So he does track, but not, he does it in school. So I do want to ask, so what made you decide to coach them? And I love what you said about putting the hat on as a mother and then, taking it off as the coach, because you are so right. Coaches do form so much in a child's world. As I said, I played college sports. I, played sports my entire life. My parents said, literally I came out running, that's how it was. And there is something that's really important as a coach, but then also that you can take that hat off and then be there for the more vulnerable, the more, intentional stuff. So can you give us a little bit of insight? What made you decide to coach? Now, do you have a track and field? Can you share everyone, do you have a track and field background and all of that kind of stuff?
Yes, absolutely. So I ran track in high school. I ran in college, and also I ran 4 years professionally. I was a hurdler, 100 hurdles, 400 hurdles, open 400. And, coaches, I have a lot of coaches that have instilled a lot of things, in my life. And I am still in touch with a lot of my coaches. Like I said, they're the ones that get that real, intimate touch with athletes. And I can remember one day I was sitting out at track practice, and I didn't like the things that I saw. And I didn't think that my kids were actually being pushed. My husband, of course, is an athlete. I'm an athlete. So I will say that they are blessed with good DNA. They're some great, they're great athletes. However, it's one thing to have the talent, but to actually be able to put the work in and the effort in, all the way through. So I didn't like what I was seeing. And I said, hey, if you don't like it, I'm a firm believer. You step up and do something about it, So that's what I did. I went to the coach and asked, could I join the coaching staff? I'm a certified coach, level 3. And I not only get the chance to do wonderful things in my children's lives, but we have 105 kids on our track and field team. We've been the national champions. I think like the last 3 or 4 years consecutively. And just the things that not only just myself, but the other coaches bring to the table, with the kids. We're on top of them from an academic standpoint. We want to see their grades. We want to know what issues that they're having in the classroom or with teachers. And the mere reason for that is because when a child comes to practice, you don't know what they've been through throughout the day. You don't know what they've been through at home, and there has to be a breaking point for that child, some type of middleman that a young adult can actually interact with, right? And be able to share things and know that you're going to hold their confidentiality at heart, but you're also going to give them sound advice that's going to help them be able to mitigate whatever issues that they're having.
Oh my gosh, there's so many things that you just said I love. I mean, first and foremost, I've talked about this with my children all the time. You could be the most talented individual, but if you don't have the worth ethic, it doesn't, yes, you're not going to go anywhere. So it is. And some, that's a lot of kids are born with, worth ethic. Not a lot, I shouldn't say, but like it is a very big divide. So like one of my sons is definitely, I would say, more of a natural athlete, but the other one works harder, and the other one probably shines a little bit more, gets a little bit of an edge. And I remember my sister and I, same, growing up, it was the same. I probably had a little bit more natural, but she was a hard worker and she did not ever stop. And I was a hard worker, but I would kind of sometimes take it back. So I think that's so important what you said there. And the other thing that is, again, just like my heart just got so filled, is you don't know what's happening behind the scenes. And as a coach, you don't know if someone is having, they're coming to your practice and they want to put the hard work in. That's right. But sometimes as kids, right, their brains are still not completely formed. It is hard for them to go through that. So this is actually a perfect segue to kind of talk about your 34. And again, I know that we don't have a ton of time, and I promised you guys, everyone in the audience and everyone listening on every platform, we will be having Rachel back. I'm going to be asking her very nicely when we come back, because there's so many different things that I want to talk to you about, because you're doing so many amazing things. And as you said, you guys are blessed because of the positions that you're in, but you're also then turning around and putting it out there for others. And that's what is so important. And that's what, to me, the world is about. So one thing that I read in the playbook that is just, again, I was like screaming and like as tears were coming down my eyes. But you said in there, follow your heart, go into something that you're passionate about. And this is what my shows, my podcast, this is what I do every day, is I wake up and I try to teach people just that. So I love that. And I have to say, like Tommy Vincent and Dominique Sensabaugh and Crystal David and Morgan Thomas, all of those wonderful women, and Cynthia, all kind of have that same, they've said the same thing on the shows. So I love that. When I read that, I was like, boom, that is just so important. So if you can just give us a little bit about the 34 Ways Foundation and how that got started, and just give us a little bit in there, because it's so beautiful and so amazing what you guys are doing.
Thank you so much. 34 Ways Foundation was founded in 2002 by my husband, Mike McKenzie, former Super Bowl champion. And he started 34 Ways just off of, the mere fact of there were a lot of coaches and that were beacons in his life. And he wanted to be able to come back into the community and share those things and be able to pour back out into the inner city communities as well. The 34, we always let everyone know that the motto is the acronym of Trey, which is from the 34, teach, reach, and educate youth for life. So with that being said, we're in 6 states, and in those states and cities, we've given and raised millions of dollars, and we've touched on hundreds of thousands of young individuals' lives. My husband has also recently received, and I have to say it because we're headed to LA, the Philanthropist Award from the city of LA, with the many things that he has done there in LA. And the beauty of it is he has no connection to LA, but being able to network with individuals around the NFL community and understand and see where the needs are, is always in the first and foremost aspect for off the field.
And that,
I'm sorry, for 34
I knew
ways.
that we were going to say, and so that's the thing that is so just beautiful, is that what you guys are doing in different cities and different places for children that might not have the capabilities. And, and I'll just touch on this really quickly. I was reading the article in the playbook, and it was about a young woman that lost her mom in Katrina. And, as you said, where you guys have been devastated by so many of those hurricanes. And the fact that she came and you saw that something was going on, but you couldn't touch on it, and you kind of just gently figured it out. And she decided she wanted to go to college, and she said she wanted to go to college. And just to give quickly of this story, you were able to help her get her grades up. Now, that's also something so dear to my heart because I am dyslexic. So school was hard for me. And I always had someone, my parents were the ones there pushing me to be better and helping me be able to get to that spot where I could go into college because school was hard. My older son is the same. And so basically they helped this young woman get into college, and Rachel saw her at an event at school, and it was just her saying, like, thank you so much for putting out there and helping me be able to get into school. And she was taking care of her through, her brothers, and you were able to help them get a better life. And so it's just such a beautiful foundation. And again, one thing that has come up in all of these interviews with you guys is that there's so many things that are being done through the NFL and so many different things. And this is what I'm going to be segueing. I think Rachel might be having some internet connection issues. So many different things that happen behind the scenes with the NFL that, and again, I think Cynthia will laugh. I called myself a layperson, but someone that's not in the NFL. So many things that you guys are doing to help other individuals, other organizations, unprivileged people, but then also helping, it like at a higher level. So that's where I'm going to bring to off the field. And I know Erica Lassiter, who is in the audience. Yes, I would love for you to talk a little bit more about this because again, this is something that us that are not in the NFL have no clue about. And when you start diving into it, the chills that happen and like just my heart just being like, oh, these are such amazing things that not everyone knows about. And so it's so important to have a platform like this and have an app like Fireside to be able to kind of give us the ability to get this message out more about what is going on. So Cynthia, I would love for you to jump into October Rush.
Beautiful. Yeah, I mean, this is a great time of the year with the new season starting and the roster set to really talk about off the field and all of the amazing things we do in the sisterhood that has been created after so many years and so much success. October Rush is a way to have our membership tell other women that maybe just coming into the league about off the field and what it is that we do. And, Off the Field is a 501(c) nonprofit. And the whole idea is going out into the communities, impacting families, impacting our own NFL family, which has also become really important to us. And so we are kicking off with a really fun, October Rush is very simple. It's have a member take somebody to coffee, invite them over to your house, maybe have happy hour, maybe have dinner, and just really share a really fun, presentation type magazine about what it is that we do, who we are, and all the fun things that they can get involved with. And it's just really a nice way to say in person, like, why do you want to be a part of Off the Field? Why is this sisterhood, important? And for us, the veteran wives, like we always say that we consider ourselves the gatekeepers. We've been there already. We've been in, we've been there, and we've transitioned out. And now we just come to each other to just build each other up, support each other, help each other grow personally, our businesses, and then, of course, off the field, which Rachel is back. By the way, Rachel, you just look absolutely stunning. Thank you. My God, God bless you. So,
well, let me say thank you. Look, I had technical difficulties.
I can tell you said thank you.
Thank you.
I get to see your lips.
Look, great wingman as always, Cynthia. Thank you.
Well,
so much.
I just want to let you know on our off the field text, everybody's saying it. I'm just speaking for everybody. Everybody's like, my God, Rachel looks so beautiful. And we're going back and forth on the thread.
Thank you.
So, So October Rush really is, I was just telling them all about what we're going to be doing this month and how fun it's going to be to kick it off, to get our, to get our new girls in there and to be a part of what is now, as the new president, this will be a great place for you to take from here, and succeeding Erica Lassiter, which, of course we can't say anything, more about Erica. I mean, just like her legacy is incredible with Off the Field and all of our membership and all of our girls. So, so if you want to take it on and talk about this, the honor of being elected the new president of Off the Field, that would be great.
Absolutely. Thank you, Cynthia. And before I begin to speak on the honor of being the president, I have to say that, Erica Lassiter, when I tell you a woman of perseverance, I'm going to talk about Erica and try not to drop a tear because it's so many things that I have learned and I've gotten an opportunity to watch just as a young wife. You know, I've been up, I've been under the leadership of Erica Lassiter for 8 years now. And my God, she has done an outstanding job. You know, it takes a lot, and it takes a strong individual to put themselves, you know, to put an organization in front of everything that they have going on. And I mean, that speaks volumes, you know, to Erica. She puts off the field first and foremost. She has done it for over 18 years, as Cynthia has said. And, of course, you know, with the great support system of our founders, our board, and our members, and to watch her navigate life, you know, life throws us ups and downs, you know, and a lot of challenges, and being able to keep in front of her and hold near and dear to her just the simple fact that, you know, friendship and sisterhood is essential to the soul. And she has embraced that with grace, you know, on a daily basis. And even when she's been thrown curveballs and she's gotten up and not even wanted to be involved, you've never seen her sweat. You know, you've never seen her step up to the plate to say, ladies, today I can't do it. We're always the ones saying, Erica, you know, let's take a break. You should stop. You should, in her, and I'll say in her most vulnerable moment, you know, she still stands the test you know, and as women, it's important that we're able to walk side by side with each other and be able to show the love and the support, because we all need it. You know, this community as NFL wives is it's a community that I must say that is misconstrued by the public. You know, people think and see us and see our lifestyles and think that, oh, they have it all. You're right. We have what God has given and blessed us with. Absolutely. But to whom much is given, much is required. And I must say that we carry a lot of heavy loads. You know, some of us do it gracefully, and some gracefully than others, and some don't. And it's important that we continue to be there and be able to support those that aren't. But I must say that I have some big shoes to fill. Cynthia, you and I both, you know, moving forward. And I am truly, truly honored and excited to be the newly elected president with Off the Field. We have a lot of exciting things that are coming up. And yes, of course, this is our October rush, and we want to challenge each member, each one reach one, you know, bring another wife to the forefront and have her join Off the Field so that she can get an opportunity to embrace the benefits and engagement that Off the Field is providing, and allowing also not just the members, but also the significant others. We want you all to participate with Off the Field as well, so that no one is left behind or left out from a standpoint of benefits, or whether it's navigating through a new team, you know, or making friends. I did get an opportunity to watch one of the other wives speak here with YNS, and she mentioned not being able to speak up, you know, and to introduce herself or to join into the community. We're here at Off the Field. We welcome everyone with open arms. We will walk up to you when we see you and introduce ourselves and ask you, you know, hey, how are you doing? And is it anything that you need or that we can assist or help you with? You know, we are that voice for the wives across the United States. And we like to be the ones, we would love to be the ones to say that we're the very first voice outside of the NFL that will educate you on the things that are out there for your husbands, as well as your entire back office.
How beautiful. And I've said this to Cynthia before. I am so inspired and so in awe of what you guys do. And you're right, Rachel. People have different thoughts about what an NFL spouse is and what NFL. You guys have problems just like we do, right? You wake up, you put your pants on the same way, you put one leg into one leg and the other leg into the other. You have children that go through stuff. And I think it's so important. And that's why I really wanted to have this platform to be able to share your stories, because, you know, when your husbands get traded, you have to pick up and you have to take your kids and you have to work through just like anyone else that has to do a move. But it's not something that you chose to do, right? But you fell in, and I think it was Crystal David that said it. She fell in love with the boy, right? Yes. She fell in love with the boy and she didn't know what she was going to get herself into. And I think that's so important that you guys have a platform and a stage to be able to share that. And because it is really important, and, it's society and it's the media that puts you guys on this platform, and it's not always fair because you have the same kind of struggles, and you're doing you're doing good in the world because you're choosing to do good in the world, not because of, and this is what your, God's path for you is. And I so believe in that. And so I love that we're able to to be able to talk about it. And I have to say, is it Ramonda? And I'm terrible with pronouncing words. Okay. Ramonda said, yes, she said, we love you, Erica, and we love you, Rachel. And just, I'm so happy that you guys are able to get some of the women, in here listening, because this is such a great platform. I'm so loving Fireside that we're able to do this. And again, I know we are, short on time, but I think it's just, I know, with the fashion show, which we'll get, as I said, Rachel's going to be coming back. We're going to ask her very, very nicely because we're going to be touching on the fashion show that you guys do at the Super Bowl. And again, there's so many different things that I want, Homeland Security. I mean, I need to know. Again, you have to come back because I need to know about this. Cynthia, I know you want to jump in, but just thank you for both of you. And you could see that, you're a real woman with a heart, right? You're talking about your friend, Erica, and how much she means to you and what she's done for you guys. And it's just a beautiful thing. So I'm so, so honored that you guys are giving me the ability to, be a part of this. I absolutely adore every single one of you that have come up and shared your story. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Cynthia, I'll let you jump in.
And thank you as well, Juliet, for allowing us to share our story and, here on your platform as well. We truly appreciate it.
Definitely. I definitely want to talk about the Super Bowl fashion show for a bit because, well, it's going into its 21st year, first of all, which is huge. Yes. And for our 20th, of course, it was COVID, so we did it virtual, and we were able to put together just a fantastic tribute to Off the Field and what we've done in 20 years with the fashion show. So Candace Campbell did a fantastic job, putting together that wonderful production for us. But now we're back and we're going to LA. And what a lot of people don't realize that, yes, the fashion show, it's huge. It's the biggest thing that Off the Field does. And right now we're going to be starting our committees, getting members to join the committees, getting members to, offer good advice. We're heading to LA as a group, and it is always sold out and always huge. But it's not the only thing that Off the Field does. It's a way to be together, and it forces us to be together all year with these most fantastic conversations that we have throughout all the committees and as a board. I've learned so much being on the board because I've never seen women be more respectful and more like just looking at what do we need to do to succeed, and everything else just kind of falls away. It's just the focus is on the success of everything that we do, and people are gracious, they're patient, they listen, and I just love being on all of our board calls. But getting to the Super Bowl and doing the fashion show is one thing, but it's also what's going on in your life in the meantime. Hey, how are you transitioning? How are you handling what's happening in your life? How are you handling loss? And that's what a lot of people don't realize, that when we say sisterhood, it's not just thrown lightly. And so if you could touch on that, Rachel, just about who we are and why somebody would even want to be involved in the Super Bowl or just involved in Off the Field alone, that would be great.
Yes, absolutely. We are an organization that we put a lot back into the wives in our community, and as well as into the wives of our community, as well as in our communities. We embrace our wives with lots of different education. We put on lunch and learns where we allow the wives to come in. You may want to start a business. You may want to start a 501c3, or you may want to learn how to build wealth or how to build your legacy in your household or in your back office. And as women of Off the Field, those things we nurture first and foremost for our wives. And we want to be able to take the wives to another level, if you will. If they're looking to elevate, with, like I said, being a business owner, we have a lot of wives that are collaborating, and that are successful business women. And we bring them to the forefront so they can ask those intimate questions that they would need to know, how to, with navigating on the successful path. Outside of, just from a lunch and learn standpoint, yes, you touched on Super Bowl, but I will say Super Bowl, oh my goodness, it is the exciting time where everyone gets the opportunity to network, and we meet women from all over because, of course, at the end, it's the grand stage, right? So we get a chance also to interact with each other's spouses as well, and to show the ladies how we do things and also how they can get involved, right? And you don't have to necessarily be a wife to attend or to participate in Super Bowl. Like Cynthia said, we are sold out every year. And even when it comes to the wives modeling, oh my goodness, we hate it, but we can only allow so many wives in the show at a time. So of course, the waiting list is always long. If you have not signed up, we have 2 very special women that are leading LA right now. Shawnette Sapp is our committee chair. She's done a phenomenal job, taking that by the horns, if you will, for Super Bowl, and being able to put a staple on what our blueprint and everything of what and how the organization navigates through Super Bowl, as well as bringing in all of the new wives or wives that are former wives that are interested and that continue to stay involved. And this year we have the beautiful Sharice Brown that's going to be our host. Super excited about that as well. And it's like going home for her. We're excited. We're still navigating through a lot of things. I really hope Juliet gets an opportunity to bring the 2 ladies on so that they can speak more and true and through navigating what's happening next for Super Bowl. I know we're running out of time, and however, please go to our website, offthefieldpwa.org, so you can get signed up for committees and you can join and get prepared. It's an exciting time. And yes, when I tell you, from gift bags, from entertainment, the fashion show, beautiful, and being involved with whether it's in the community or with other aspects, it's a great opportunity.
I love that. I know that a couple people have said a couple things, and I just want to throw them out. Tamiko said, she said, "We love you, love my OTF sisters." And Tamiko, is that how you say Tamiko's name?
Tamiko,
okay, great.
Yes. Tamiko McKenzie.
Yes. And then also Romanda again said, yes, so incredibly important, Rachel and Cynthia, which is so nice. So thank you, ladies. Thank you for joining in and talking a little bit about that. But again, I'm just so, being, and I love the clapping, right? How fun is that? I do want to touch, because there's a couple different things that as we close the show out, that again, and I know I said this like 30 times, but it's not to be a broken record, but we will be having Rachel back on, because she was, Homeland Security, right? You worked in Homeland Security? Right.
Yes. So it's been a little over 15 years now. Oh my goodness. I actually started in the federal government. When I applied, I wanted to be on a SWAT team. With me being athletic and just growing up in the country and playing with guns and knives and seeing who could be the quickest or the sharpshooter, if you will. I wanted to go there.
Understandable, yeah.
And I scored high. Scored high on their IQ exam, and it was, no, you're not going to be boots on the streets. You're going to be in intelligence. And so that was, how I got involved. I'm the infrastructure branch director for the state of Louisiana. So, staying in front of a lot of things and helping people get back to work, if you will, after any type of disaster. And I'm navigated all over the U.S., whichever region that they call. Then I have to, be there and also be in front of things. So, I think a lot of me being able to be successful in the things that I'm doing, my goodness, working in the federal government, you have to know how to pivot. You have to know how to work under pressure. You must know how to work under pressure. And, you have to stay up on a lot of things and policies and procedures and things of that nature.
Right. And that's just like, to me, it just blows my mind. And I could have a whole conversation about all the things. And I love how you how you navigate everything. And, that's again, a whole nother episode about how you juggle it and do it well. Cause I'm sure there's times where it's like, okay, I'm juggling all these different things. What hat am I wearing now? Because the other thing is Southern Charm 2018, you were on, am I correct there? Right. I mean,
Yes,
Homeland
yes.
Security, Southern Charm 2018, NFL wife, president of Off the Field. I mean, executive director, 34 Ways. I think that there's, you have a wine, there's some wine. Do you own a vineyard? I mean, or you're in the wine
Yes.
business. Yeah. So again, we will be, and I know we're going to close this down, but we will be having Rachel back because I'm going to be diving into some more of that because I am fascinated. I am absolutely fascinated by you. But again, you have, as everyone just heard, yes, and the trucking company. Thank you, Tamiko, right? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So there's so many things that we're going to touch on. So thank you guys for all, and Brian, who's just left, Ashley. I mean, there's so many people that have joined in, Megan, Gabrielle. Thank you for being here for another YNS Live with NFL Thread. Again, Rachel, thank you so much for opening your heart and taking the time and just kind of, I mean, we really were just on the top of the water here. I mean, we didn't even dive deep, but trust me, we will be diving deep next time Rachel comes in. She's going to talk about how her husband, the NFL superstar, asked you to marry him after a week as well, right?
Yes.
There is a lot. So again, thank you. And thank you, Cynthia, for pointing all this out and this, this fashion show. I can't wait to learn more about it. So thank you again for joining YNS Live and
Juliet.
NFL Thread.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. And I want to say to everyone listening, remember to just, stay present and to stay positive. If you stay present on a daily basis, which is hard, and I try to do constantly, it keeps everything directly in front of you. It keeps you focused and it keeps you moving passionately throughout your day. So remember to just stay present.
What a perfect way to end the show. Thank you again. Thank you everyone for joining. And don't forget, you guys can share this episode after. You can share it on all your different platforms to get this message out more, to hear again what an NFL spouse is like. I mean, Rachel is doing so many different things because of the platform that she has been able to be at, because of how God has blessed her. And we all can be better. We really all can be better if we just pause our bodies and think and listen. So again, Rachel, thank you so much. I'm going to bring the music up. And thanks everyone for joining. Cynthia, do you want to say a little bye?
Just a wonderful day. And I definitely encourage everybody to go on offthefieldpwa.org. And it is October Rush. So if you're a member, start thinking about who you would like to recruit to host so we can get this, make this a fun October and grow.
Again, thank you, ladies, and everyone that joined. Bye, everyone. Thank you again,
Bye.
Rachel.
Thank you as well.
Bye.
I hope you liked this episode of Your Next Stop. Please subscribe to my channel, share with your friends, and join in each week.